what is our TV show guilty pleasure? Like, what's our guilty pleasure that we expose ourselves to, or we pleasure ourselves with watching TV? And let's share what that is with one another. So, what is your guilty pleasure television show? So I've got a question for you before I get to the rest of the questions. When I was trying to introduce the message and the theme of guilt, and I was trying to share with you about the BASH Board of Directors meeting and the question that the president of the board asked, the way that I phrased that did not come across well. And so I'm like, so what show do you pleasure yourself with? And so it was so bad. And the staff are watching worship with me and hearing the message. And I could see some head movement out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, I wonder if they noticed that really sounded inappropriate. So how many of you feel guilty that you thought really, things that we don't normally talk about in worship, sexual things, when I said pleasure yourself, and do you feel guilty about that? Because now the staff does and I do, and it was just, I can't believe I said that online. So I just want to go on and own that. It is not what I meant. What I meant is, guilty pleasure, like having a piece of chocolate or eating some cookies or some cake, not other kind of pleasure that we do not talk about in church or worship, and nor do I ever want to look you in the eyeball and have this conversation again. But the question was, what kind of guilty pleasure do you have with television? And I'm realizing now that I tell you what my guilty pleasure is that I shared with the board, it just makes me look like an awful human being, coupled with what I just talked about. But they were sharing different things, and I'm so befuddled right now, I can't even remember some of the shows that they said. They were talking about Murder, She Wrote was someone's answer, a nice, wholesome show. And then I said, have you ever watched this show called MILF? And I don't know if you know what MILF means, but it's a bad connotation. It's like DILF dads. Okay, we can't do that. We've got to start after the BASH video.
Because milk was bad enough, then you went to milk.
Oh my God.
I do not know how to recover.
You know what would be funny? We could put one of those flash, where the TV goes out, and then you can just start from there. This program was interrupted.
Right, I used to have a technical difficulty slide, but I don't have it anymore.
Oh, parental advisory. I think you should keep it. And you should say.
But I'm realizing how bad. So that show is about all these women and their sons that go to this island and hook up with their friends' sons. And the whole goal is to get one of their friends' sons to want to them. And I just can't talk about that. All right, you've got to chop this up anyway, right? All right, I'm going to not talk about masturbation. So let's just go back and let me start with the pre-BASH video. You can save all this for some bloopers, like when I retire, you can show this. But
If you don't know what milk is, then here's
actually,
I think you should keep it and then just ignore what's been, just say, so anyway, today we're gonna,
all right, I'm just going to say, now that I've had a complete meltdown, we'll save it and we can use it on Friday on social media and say, we completely fell apart I completely fell apart trying to talk myself out of a hole, and I just kept digging the hole bigger.
it's so real
I do too. I do too. So I think we use it on social media. All right, ready?